Here are 5 creepy night shifters witnessing a paranormal activity. 1. I used to intern in a recording studio in NYC years ago where it was technically open 24/7, meaning there was always someone there whether clients were in or not. Anyway, it was on an upper floor of a building, and due to the amount of expensive equipment inside, you could not access that floor by elevator without someone letting you up. The button for that floor was locked out, so you couldn't press it from inside the elevator. There was a camera at the front entrance downstairs, another at the elevator entrance, and one inside the elevator, all of which could be viewed from the front desk of the studio, so when people arrived you would buzz them in, wait until you saw them enter the elevator, and then you would have to push the button for the studio floor to bring the elevator up. Well, anyway, one of the nights I was working the overnight shift and it was just me and another dude, doing cleaning, maintenance, etc., when we hear the elevator start running at probably like 3:30 in the morning. The whole building is all offices, so really there is nobody in the building past 5 to 6 p.m. besides us, so we thought it was a bit strange. The other guy looks at the cameras and there's nothing at all, no one in the elevator either. So although it's weird, we just figure someone must still be in the building and called it from a different floor. It made sense until all of a sudden we see it stop at our floor and we hear the door ding. We're both in the lobby about 15 feet away from the elevator and we give each other the hardest WTF stare ever. I can't explain how much I didn't want those doors to open. We stare like a deer in headlights, completely motionless at the doors as they open. Nobody is there, no one pushed the button, nothing. We both keep staring completely still and silent, and it becomes really fucking creepy as time goes on and the doors don't shut, as if something is standing in doorway blocking the sensor. The doors usually close after 5 seconds or so, but we stared at it for a good 20 to 30 seconds or so before they closed and the elevator returned back to the lobby. We stared for a bit longer before simultaneously looking at each other and saying, "What the fuck, dude?" The next day we asked a couple of the other guys about it, and one of the guys said the same thing happened to him in the middle of the night when he was by himself. He said he almost shit himself. Maybe there's a logical explanation for it, elevator malfunction, etc., but it was really damn freaky since the place was generally kinda creepy at night and there had been some other weird things. 2. I was visiting family and staying in a hotel with my boyfriend, husband now. The first night there we went to bed and I woke up in the middle of the night facing the window. I noticed there was a dark shadow in the corner of the room that looked human-shaped. After staring a while I realized it must have been a floor lamp since that corner was kind of bare, and that's the logical choice. I rolled over and went back to bed. The following morning I remembered this and turned to look into the corner where the lamp was, and there isn't a floor lamp there. The corner is bare. I mentioned it to my boyfriend and he went white. He told me that he woke up in the middle of the night because he felt like he was being watched and had to get up out of bed to go to the bathroom. I vaguely remember him getting up to try and shake the feeling. It still sticks with me in dark rooms. 3. Not me, but my dad during the late 70s, Nevada City, CA, and the surrounding areas had a big drug crisis, mostly meth and pot, and my dad had already been living there for a while in the house he had built a few years before. He wasn't involved in any drug making or selling. At the time, he was a commercial raft guide and also had friends in the Bay Area, so he went back and forth often for errands and stuff. One night he was driving down a winding road through the forest on the way to San Francisco, and in his headlights he saw a woman on the road, barefoot and waving her arms for help. Naturally, he was a bit alarmed and concerned, so he pulled his truck to the side of the road to get out and help her. He had pulled the truck too far ahead of the woman, so he started to pull it back to get closer. By chance, as he was looking through his rear view, he saw a man run out from the underbrush holding what looked like a gun in his jacket pocket, coming towards the driver's side. My dad could tell the guy meant business by the way he was moving, and was ready to mug or shoot him, so he hightailed it out of there before anything happened. It was a close call, to say the least. 4. I don't have a story, but here is the one my wife likes to tell. She is a nurse and for a couple of years she was working night shift in the palliative care unit, which is the comfort care / end-of-life unit. Patients in that unit are expected to die, or to be sent home or to a care home to die. Anyways, those rooms also had a radio, and according to her it happened a few times that a radio suddenly turned on, and within an hour or so a patient would pass on. One rather busy night, the radio turned on and my wife went into the room, stared into the darkness and said, "Cut that out. I don't have time for this shit." And the radio suddenly snapped off. No patient died during the rest of her shift, but one passed away shortly after she clocked out. 5. I don't inherently believe in ghosts, but if I had a paranormal story it will be this one. I work in one of the major ERs in my city as a HCA. One of my many tasks is post-mortem care on patients who die in our care. One night at around 0200 I was called to the room of an older patient who was palliative had passed and the family had finished their goodbyes. So I went in to start providing care. This usually means removing any tubes, wires, and monitors from the patient, giving them a bed bath, removing any valuables from the body to give to the family, putting them in a gown and shroud. I like to talk to my patients even if they have passed, as it puts me at ease, and shows respect to them. I explain my actions and talk them through what I'm doing because even though they have passed they are still my patient. While I was proceeding with the bed bath of the patient, out of nowhere I felt like I was being watched, and then I felt a hand on my shoulder and a man's voice tell me thank you. The hand remained for a moment while I stood there frozen, then all the feelings stopped and the room felt empty. There were no other nurses or staff in the area at the time, just me. I like to believe that the patient I was providing care for was thankful for my explanations and me continuing to talk to them through their care. Thank you for listening. Like, subscribe and share.